and airships that it deploys, ranging from small drones the size of the palm of your hand to even this ultra high altitude drones like the one you see here, designed to fly at very high altitudes near space and powered by solar energy. These can loiter for weeks over an area, providing persistent cover of an area that China wants to look at very closely. But for now there is no clarity, none, on what the second, third and fourth objects to be shot down actually were. Were these spy drones, or is there a larger mystery here on extraterrestrial involvement? Sounds unreal to even be saying it. But China now, for its part, says the US has been violating its airspace on 10 occasions with its own balloons.
Vishnu, the unanswered questions there. Thanks so much for that update. But let's shift our focus now to our constant coverage from Turkey and Syria, where NDTV reporters are, but also the amazing miracle stories coming out of there, which is of this woman being pulled out alive after 7.5 days. So that really is something which is an absolute miracle. This woman coming out absolutely alive. She, of course, has suffered injuries, but she is safe and stable at the moment. This also coming after the story of this young baby who was pulled out just yesterday. He's fine. He just had lunch. And look at him smiling there. Really a miracle baby. He's now been discharged from hospital. Unfortunately, his parents are still missing, but this little baby has survived. Meanwhile, Tanushree Pandey reports from Turkey on how people are now fleeing the country. They're crowding airports because of the lack of relief and rehabilitation.
Last week on the same day, Turkey and Syria were devastated by a 7.8 magnitude earthquake. And even after 7 days, both the countries are struggling to get back to normalcy. We visited the relief camps and it's overflowing with survivors, including pregnant women, infants, children and even old people. And the worst sufferers are women and children, because right now on the ground there is acute shortage of food, water, heating equipment and even warm clothes, because the temperature here in Turkey is extremely harsh. But the survivors are telling us that they are struggling to keep themselves alive. And many people, many hundreds of, in fact, survivors are forced to live on the streets inside these camps which have been set up by them. And this is one of the most busiest streets of Turkey, of southeastern Turkey, which now lies desolate, as most of the families have lost their homes and they have shifted to the relief camps. But even the relief camps have become a luxury in Turkey because it's overflowing with survivors, and that's why many of the survivors have to live on the streets, making their own makeshift settlements. And these are mostly Syrian refugees who came to Turkey to take refuge after the Syrian war, and now they are forced to live with their children on the streets, on the footpaths, the pavements, as you can see.
Well, in other news, the centre today told the Supreme Court that they are ready for an expert committee after the fallout of the Hindenburg report on Adani Group shares. The court will decide the matter on Friday. The centre today told the Supreme Court that they are all right with the panel to review the current regulatory regime. However, the Solicitor General said that while the centre has no objection to a committee being formed, but we don't want a committee to undermine the regulatory process because of the impact this will have on international and domestic investors if the wrong message goes out. The centre said that SEBI is fully equipped to take care of the situation, as are other regulatory bodies. The court is currently hearing 2 PILs alleging the exploitation of innocent investors, and they listed the next hearing on Friday. The government will suggest the remit of the proposed committee. They also said that the names should be given in a sealed cover, which the Supreme Court hasn't agreed to yet. Rahul Gandhi's strong attack on the Prime Minister and allegations that he favoured the Adani Group was what dominated the headlines last week. But today, Rajasthan Chief Minister has defended the major investments by the Adani Group in his state, saying that while Rahul Gandhi spoke in Parliament, investments like those of the Adani Group are needed for jobs.
कांग्रेस पार्टी राहुल गांधी जी जो हिंडनबर्ग की रिपोर्ट आई है अडानी समूह को लेकर के, उसको जनता के बीच में भी और संसद में भी एक बड़ा मुद्दा बनाए हुए हैं। वो जेपीसी की मांग कर रहे हैं। अडानी समूह ने राजस्थान में भी एक बहुत बड़ा निवेश किया है, 65,000 करोड़ से ज्यादा का निवेश किया है। और आपकी जाहिर सी बात, एक मुख्यमंत्री हैं, आप मिलते भी रहते होंगे, तो आप इसको कैसे बताएंगे? क्योंकि बीजेपी ये कह रही है कि आप गहलोत साहब से पूछो या दूसरे जो कांग्रेस शासित राज्य हैं वहां भी अडानी का इन्वेस्टमेंट है, इस पर आप क्या कहेंगे?
देखिए, इसका जवाब राहुल गांधी जी ने खुद ने दे दिया। अगर कोई इन्वेस्ट करना चाहता है किसी राज्य में तो वहाँ की सरकार मना कैसे करेगी? इन्वेस्टमेंट जाएगा, आएगा, तो उसी से रोजगार मिलेगा, आर्थिक विकास होगा। तो राहुल गांधी जी ने खुद ने इस बात का जवाब दे दिया है। ठीक है, ये भी कोई विवाद के अंदर भी नहीं है। बाकी जो कुछ भी हो रहा है पार्लियामेंट के अंदर या पार्लियामेंट बाहर, वो तो विपक्ष का क्या धर्म है, वो धर्म निभा रहे हैं वो लोग। हम सब धर्म निभा रहे हैं, उसको तो निभाना भी चाहिए। और बाकी अब तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट सुनवाई करने लग गया है, तो सब जुडिशरी मामला है। ये चुनाव जीतने के हथकंडे जो हैं बीजेपी के, वो सबके सामने हैं। इस बार मैं इनकी हथकंडों को चलने नहीं दूंगा। मैंने तय कर लिया, प्रधान पब्लिक जानती है कि मैं एक सेवक हूँ। मैं कोई मुख्यमंत्री तो एक पद है मेरे पास, पर मैं प्रथम सेवक के रूप में काम करता हूँ। मेरी एक एक सांस के अंदर राजस्थान में विकास, राजस्थान के लोगों के सुख दुख की घड़ी में मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, वो मैंने बचपन से सीखा है।
Moving now to other news, and this really is an extremely serious issue. The stories of the deaths, the suicides by 2 young students in 2 days, both of them engineering students. But also, this is India's most prestigious engineering college, IIT Bombay, and a young 18-year-old student who just joined there a few months ago, died by suicide jumping off the 7th floor of his hostel. Students here are protesting, asking why is it that there isn't enough infrastructure or support measures for young students, especially those who come from scheduled caste backgrounds.
A candlelight march by students at IIT Bombay on Sunday evening after the death of an 18-year-old first-year student Darshan Solanki, who allegedly jumped to his death from the 7th floor of his hostel at 1:30 in the afternoon. Just 3 months ago, Darshan from Ahmedabad joined the BTech course in chemical engineering. Institute Director Subhashish Chaudhary said in a note to students, Powai police is investigating the case. The parents of the student have been informed and they are on their way. With the first end semester exams getting over on Saturday, there is speculation on whether academic pressure pushed him to take the extreme step. A student group, Ambedkar Periyar Phule Study Circle at IIT Bombay, however, allege that his death is linked to his caste, claiming first-year students face the most harassment in terms of anti-reservation sentiments and taunts of non-deserving and non-meritorious. There is a lack of representation of faculty and counsellors from the marginalized. Neither the police nor IIT has reacted yet to these allegations. At IIT RK Valley in Andhra Pradesh, 22-year-old Akhila was found dead in her hostel room on Monday. The final year engineering student was the daughter of a labourer working in Kuwait. No suicide note has been found. The police are investigating the trigger for the extreme step. What is common between the tragic deaths at IIT Powai and IIT RK Valley is that they came from very marginalized sections and had made it to the top educational institutions with a lot of dreams and hope. Whether they felt caste oppression, inability to deal with stress or academic pressure, what is obvious is that there is need for counseling and reach out to these very vulnerable youngsters. With Sohit Mishra in Mumbai, in Hyderabad with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
Getting into an engineering college like IIT Bombay and this other college are really the dreams of young students and their parents. But what happens that within months, their dreams turn into nightmares? In other news, the other big headline we're tracking tonight is the first Women's Indian Premier League auction, and Rika has all the latest in that. Rika, what's the update?
Well, Sonia, we are almost 6 hours into the WPL auction, inaugural season of women's IPL, and 60 plus cricketers have already been sold to 5 franchises. They have spent over 53 crore rupees. The top star who's been picked up today is Smriti Mandhana. She is gone for 3.4 crore rupees to the Bangalore franchise. It's been a windfall for the all-rounders. The Australian all-rounder Ashley Garner and English all-rounder Nat Shiva, both of them going for 3.2 crore rupees. Now, Deepti Sharma, who is also an Indian all-rounder, picked up a very cool price of 2.6 crore rupees, up by 5 times from her base price. It was also a big payday for the under-19 stars like Shafali Verma and Richa Ghosh. Of course, Jemima Rodrigues, who played an excellent knock against Pakistan to take India home yesterday, fetched an auction price of 2.2 crore rupees from the Delhi team. Overall, it's been a great day for the Indian women cricketers who've been waiting for this moment of WIPL for a very long time. The tournament starts from 4th of March. It will go on all the way till the 26th of March. An excellent exhibition of skill for these women cricketers who waited for this moment from 2017.